Live and living color. We're live, bro. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Let's. Okay, we'll come back. Yeah, because I have plenty to talk about there. Yes. Yes.
Oh, yes, I do.
I was talking to the people that were at our house earlier tonight at the Christmas party, the Jam Miss Christmas party. And they were asking, like, hey, like, where do you guys go and do your pod? And we're like, well, we've gone to another establishment. I'm not going to name it because we are at our presenting sponsor that has a mechanical bull. Oh, did you ever ride the bull? I was like, well, Miggy was going to do it in a bra, but Colorado had to mess around and win 8 games. So it did not happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Shador. Ain't that right, CG?
Shout out to Shador.
Shout out to Shador.
I do want to apologize. StreamYard does a weird thing where it like automatically takes away the sound. Thanks to our boy Ron Perry. He corrected our sound, so the first 2 minutes totally jacked up.
I mean, it was only the first 2 minutes.
We were just talking about an inferior SEC team. It's all right.
Oh,
Yeah.
So if Tennessee does make it to the national championship against Georgia, can you wear that helmet for the entire show that we do?
I would literally double up on that. If Tennessee makes the national title against the Georgia Bulldogs, or even period, bro, I will wear a diaper on this show with that Tennessee helmet.
Just
An
the
adult
diaper?
diaper.
Just
And-
the diaper, no other clothes.
No, just literally a diaper.
you might have to put TVMA on that
I think
show.
it might
rating.
just be audio only for that show.
No, y'all don't
I'll
listen to
tell you what.
Well, no, I'm saying it's way too sexy. Like we can't have that's gonna be too much.
It's moms, it's family.
I know,
mean,
sisters. I mean,
y'all let me know, but I'm willing to do something ridiculous to see my Tennessee Vols.
That's just if they make it, right?
If they make it
Against Georgia, or if they just make it in general. Okay.
In general.
okay, maybe not just an adult diaper. Like we need something different.
I'll give you, if they make it to the title and they beat Georgia in the title game, I'll wear whatever Tennessee colors
Done.
and the helmet for a whole show.
Done.
Easy.
I'm excited.
Well, what if Georgia wins
Against Tennessee?
Yeah. What do we have to do?
Oh,
as
you
Tennessee fans?
boys all got to rep the G.
Oh, I would
You gotta
literally
rep
scream
the
glory on the
Like,
show.
you know what? Y'all should just call the dogs. Just call the dogs one time with me.
Yeah, I'll do it.
It'll be perfect.
I'll do
That's
it.
all I need. Just a group calling the dogs.
If Georgia goes on to win this national title,
They got to beat Tennessee.
yeah,
If they beat like Oregon, or then it's all off.
you know,
Same thing with like if Tennessee beats Penn State or something.
yeah, it's all off.
It's all
Yeah.
off. All right. This is strictly a border rivalry.
Yep.
Border show rivalry.
We are looking way in advance.
100%, but it's fun. It's
It
a little
is.
fun. We got some time to
It
look in
is.
advance. So
We got some
it's
time to
fun.
kill, and now we can look backwards. We're looking in advance. Now we can look backwards.
Yes.
So you were talking about how you had the right prediction. You shouldn't feel bad about it.
Fair.
But you called the right prediction. Tennessee, Georgia coming out on top.
I did.
All right. What about dark
feels
horse
good.
teams? What about disappointing teams in the SEC? Should we go through this one? Because this is where I think it gets a little bad for you.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and own this, man. I made a prediction about a certain team that has a bona fide out, like just stud on the outside, and Luther Burden. They wear black and gold, and they are from what is the inferior Columbia this year because they couldn't beat South Carolina. I predicted the Missouri Tigers to be the dark horse team in the SEC.
Yikes.
I thought their schedule laid out really well for them. I thought pretty much they only had to get up for one game, and that was the Alabama game. Well, turns out they didn't get off the bus for the Alabama game as they got blanked. And then the week before that, they decided to just lose to Texas A&M, and probably what was one of the ugliest showings from the Missouri Tigers all season. So the Alpha Nerd let me down.
Eli.
Hardcore let me down. Brady Cook let me down. Luther Burden let me down. And Williams Nawari has transferred to Nebraska. So not a good look for the Missouri Tigers this
But
year.
Missouri
So
did finish 19th in the
Somehow.
final rankings.
Somehow. I mean,
They're 9-3.
yeah. And their
Their
best
losses
win,
were embarrassing.
their best win was an overtime win over Vandy,
That's a good win this
which
year.
is a better
It's a good
Vandy
win.
team, but they were still 6-6.
They were still 6-6.
Still 6-6.
Still 6-6.
Chase, you looking like CC Sabathia over there.
Why is that?
Your hat's like
You got it a little sideways.
Yeah, it looks good. Like I'm just saying, but it's just like it gives me CC Sabathia vibes.
It's giving me T.I. in 2003.
That's a good look, dog.
Hey, T.I. was a hit maker.
Dude, that was hot, right?
Hot.
CC was a stud.
Chili was hot.
I hate to say it. I mean, I still listen to you.
I do too.
Every
There's
once in a
nothing
while,
wrong
he'll
with
pop
that.
in there, yeah.
Urban legend, man. King.
King.
Yeah.
King. Paper trail.
I need these throwbacks in my life, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, we sure do.
And then my final prediction for the SEC was we picked a team that we thought was going to be disappointing, and man, I don't really feel great about this one either. I picked the Oklahoma Sooners to be disappointing
You
this year.
nailed it.
Are you wrong?
You
I-
nailed it.
No,
I'll tell you
you're
why
right.
I don't feel great about it, or I don't feel good about it, is because while they did have a bad season, they did go 6-6. They ended up firing their OC, and they did this quarterback shuffle thing, which was weird. They also played pretty much the entire season without the wide receiver position because they just lost them all to injuries. I mean, they were pretty much pulling people out of the stands, sticking the Sooners jersey on them and saying, hey, guys, we need you to run some routes. What's the route tree, coach? I don't know. Just go out there, please. We're low on bodies.
You can't control that.
So you can't. Injuries are a part of the game. So I kind of feel like Georgia backdoored their way into the SEC title game. I backdoored my way into that Oklahoma prediction.
Listen to this man. Can you just enjoy being right a little bit? No,
No, he doesn't.
You gotta
You're so
enjoy it.
humble.
I want you to kick
Be-
that humility, okay?
Yeah, stop.
It needs to go.
Yeah. Stop being so humble.
Okay.
You
Brag
were,
on yourself.
Oklahoma was right. Like,
Right.
despite injuries, like injuries are going to happen. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things that you just have to live with it. That's part of the disappointment. Like, you're going to be your record's going to matter. Nobody in 2037 is going to be like, oh yeah, they had a ton of injuries besides like that one Oklahoma Sooners fan. But when we look back on this in 2037, we'll be like, Joseph was right. They were 6-6.
Oklahoma sucked that year.
They really did.
Unless they were playing Alabama.
And Jackson Arnold,
Yeah.
who they kept over Dylan Gabriel is now gone.
Oh.
And he's probably going
Where'd
to
he
be
go?
a Mississippi State
Mississippi
quarterback.
State and
I was
Auburn
going to say,
is
he's
where
in the portal.
He is in the portal.
He is
Yep.
officially in the portal. He's gone.
Jeff Lebby was a big part of his recruitment to Oklahoma. So naturally, that's where the Mississippi State lean comes from.
Yeah.
Jeff Lebby's the head coach there now.
Yeah.
So he'll probably end up a Mississippi State Bulldog, especially because Michael Van Buren has also transferred out.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's going yet, but
You hear Dabo's dipping his toe in the
dude,
portal waters?
Like, as if 2024 couldn't deliver any more on the season it's been. You're telling me all this chaos is going to happen. We're going to have this wild 12-team playoff, and then Dabo Swinney is going to break his cardinal rule and host a Purdue transfer.
What did he say?
They're just hosting him on a visit,
Yeah.
which is just the
Brought him in.
furthest
That's
that
big
they.
news.
I mean, that's something.
Yeah.
It's a step.
That's the furthest. That's the biggest leap they've taken in the transfer portal world. So
I mean, he's
Big
got
move.
to adapt to college football.
Oh,
not.
dude, for
He's
sure.
got to.
I mean,
well,
And
does he? I mean, he just won ACC for the 9th year.
and that's the thing. After him winning this ACC title game, I fully expected him to double down on the Dabo way, on the Dabo Clemson. They are Apple of the college football world. They're going to do it their way. And he's like, well, it just won us another ACC title, so we don't need the transfer portal. And then he doesn't.
I'm kind of proud of Dabo. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
hope
Kind of proud he's adapting a little bit.
because they don't need to do what Ole Miss does. They don't need to do what Colorado does. They don't need to rebuild. They just need to supplement. Yeah. I mean,
Exactly.
you take 2 or 3 guys that just add a little bit of depth. Somebody that
Experience.
just wasn't in the right situation, or maybe their coach left. They're totally a culture fit for Clemson because that's what he looks for. And that was one of his big complaints. Is he's like, a lot of these guys probably aren't good enough to play at Clemson, which is just wrong, just flat out wrong. And then he's like, they're not a part of the Clemson culture.
Yeah.
They weren't recruited. They haven't been built here. That's part of the reasons he had cited for staying away from the transfer portal.
And that's why you have guys that are older and have been there can teach those people and those players you bring in the Clemson way. You can
Exactly.
teach them the culture.
Exactly.
If you have the right leadership in place, you can have those people that you bring in be ingratiated very quickly. It just takes a little bit of buy-in.
Exactly.
And they've had a lot of success, so I don't understand why they wouldn't have the buy-in.
Yeah. It's
I don't count this as a success. And I know they won the ACC. Y'all, they were the 12th seed in the college football playoff for a reason.
only because automatically.
Yeah,
were only there
like
because
they
of
literally,
automatic.
if you did not get an automatic bid, they would not have gone to the college football playoff.
100%.
Even with that. So I'm proud of Dabo, to your point, but also I know that he's realizing college football is starting to pass me by. I need to either
That's what I'm saying.
evolve or I'm going to evaporate and not be at Clemson in 4 years. Straight up.
Adapt or die, man.
That's it. That's the name of the game.
Billy Bean said it best.
Looking at, the SEC, I mean, I tried to, of course, not go with my fandom, but I did. I did all the way. And I had
You leaned
Tennessee and Ole Miss, with Tennessee going to Atlanta, which, to my credit, without a fluke loss to Arkansas on the last play of the game, Tennessee would have been in the SEC title game. 100%. So, I know Ole Miss, 2 fluke losses as well, but it is what it is. I'll eat that.
Chase, I feel like I'm in a very weird spot right now. I have one man that's way too humble, and then the other one that's like, I was totally wrong, but I could have just been. I was right there. I was basically
I was right there.
I was basically right.
I was
So
right
you
there.
You were basically right on Tennessee versus Ole Miss
Yeah,
when neither one of them got there.
but do you know how close they were?
Ole
Yeah,
Miss was a little
A
far away.
Kentucky loss.
listen,
Home
man.
Kentucky loss and a
Florida
road
loss.
Arkansas.
Listen,
Ooh, buddy.
I love our balls, and I'm with you. I don't think they're disappointing, or anything like that. But I mean, it's like, come on, man.
I mean, 10-2, right? And I'm telling you, that Arkansas loss is a fluke. It just was. That's not a good football team. Ole Miss blew the doors off that team.
That was
But you
one of
could
those.
feel it, though. You could feel it coming.
That was one of those games, and we talked about it in the pregame, or we talked about it in the preview for the game. Like the last time that Tennessee had played at Fayetteville, they were a top 5 team. They lost.
They went
it's
down.
it was literally like the same scenario, however many years later.
I'm good.
My dark horse team. All right, I'm not gonna be humble anymore. I'm a freaking idiot. All right.
As much crap as you gave Brian Kelly.
I just thought the talent at LSU would show.
And bro, going back and watching those videos, you gassed this man. Oh, you gassed him.
I mean,
so
I gassed
much,
him.
dude.
I gassed him up so much. Bro, Brian Kelly needs to be fired from LSU, man. He is wasting a top 5 job.
Tell you.
He is a clown.
He's terrible.
He is a clown. He doesn't even match LSU at all as a program. Yeah. And last but not least, I was wrong about the Florida Gators. Big Game Billy showed me. I mean, really, this is a all-American coaching job. Because they're what? Correct me if I'm wrong. 7-5.
7-5, man.
That's crazy.
That's what we said about Florida coming into the year. If they found some way to win 7 games with that schedule, that would be some yeoman's ass work.
And he did it. Easily could have been 8 games with a Tennessee win. I was at that football game. Tennessee should have lost.
My God.
That feels like one of those two where it was a good way to get 7-5. You got like your Ole Miss win. You've got a lot of these like marquee moments where, and dude, even the AD letter is a big deal now. Like that AD letter solidified Billy's staying. Billy's got the backing of us, and that turned them around. And DJ Lagway being a being an awesome quarterback and turning things around. Like, so that's another part of it is you have your guys step up at the end of the season, and that turns you around and that gets you big time wins. And for Billy, dude, sky's the limit at Florida. We know that.
Yeah.
Money's going to come in. And as we said, 7-5 is a good season for that hard of a schedule.
With that schedule, yeah, dude, it's a success. Ultimately. And that's like we said at the beginning when we previewed Florida, if they hit 7-5, that's a success.
The state of Florida is also weird right now because Miami just had their best season, right? Obviously, Florida State has fallen off of a train. I mean, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But it's just like Florida can now recruit because you can sell promise and potential. The UCF is an afterthought. So, yeah, that was a disappointing take from Malcolm Miggy Harris, and that's my SEC, man.
All right, well, I will kind of go through my SEC. I felt decent about it. It's like it had some right, it had some wrong. My SEC title game, I didn't want to buy into the Jackson Dart hype, and I tried to talk myself out of them making it to the SEC championship game. Because you know what? Lane Kiffin does the same thing every single year, has all these expectations, and finds a way to disappoint. You could have made a case that Ole Miss could have been the most disappointing team of this year. I also could have went, and probably should have went LSU instead of the team I did. We'll get to that. But I went Georgia versus Ole Miss, with Georgia coming out on top. So half right, and at least I didn't pick like LSU or Arkansas to get to the title game. At least we had Ole Miss, the team who finished what? 13th, 14th in the final rankings. What were they?
Yeah, roughly. They were a few spots behind Bama. So.
They were 14th in the rankings. So we weren't like that far away. But yeah, we picked the winner. We picked Georgia, so I felt good about that. Another good year. Not the classically good Georgia team like you were talking about, Jay, but a team that sort of was good enough when it mattered the most, beating Texas twice. You guys swept UT.
Some found a way, man.
Texas and Tennessee.
Yeah. I was like bro, don't you ever.
Both UTs. Both UTs.
That's not UT. That is Tex.
Tex.
That is Tex, brother.
Hey, welcome, Tex.
Tex.
That is Tex.
TEX. It's what the abbreviations say. It's what the abbreviations say.
I mean, we
on the television.
Until we get the battle for the real UT, we won't know.
We'll never know.
We might get it during this.
It'll happen.
Playoff.
We'll get it eventually, regardless if it happens in this playoff or not.
It's not going to happen next season.
It'll probably happen in 20. Well, we play the flip schedules now, where you play a schedule, then you flip all the games, play the next schedule, then they reshuffle your. So 2026, you'll probably get Texas.
They'll want that. They'll want that badly.
For sure. Well, dude, especially if Nico
is still there,
doesn't leave next year, and Arch doesn't leave next year, and you've got Nico versus Arch in 2026.
Oh, that's what they want, dude. Yeah. That's what they want.
I mean, that's bad. Like a week 3 SEC opener. Like, dude, That matchup's going to feed families.
They both won't be there, though, unfortunately.
You don't think so?
No. Arch is not going to be in a Texas Longhorn uniform.
Dude, I'm the opposite. I feel like Arch actually would stay longer than Nico.
No, he's going to be in college football, just not at Texas.
Whoa.
He ain't leaving.
Bro, he ain't leaving Texas.
Quinn
That would
Ewers
be
is coming back
shocked.
next year.
Can he?
Hey, he can come back all he wants, but Arch is going to have that job.
No, like
He's going to get benched if he comes back. He's not going to be the starter.
I mean, if Quinn comes back, McConaughey's going to have the all right, Quinn. You had your chance.
Or
Now go sit
Sark,
on the
I would
bench.
say Sark.
I mean,
Unless he wins a national championship, there's no way.
are you
That
gonna
would be
bench?
something.
That's what I'm saying. If he goes on to do it, are you benching Quinn Ewers? Or are you just telling him, hey, go to the portal?
I would say go to the portal.
I think if you're Sark and you go on to win it, I think you're telling Quinn go to the NFL.
He's not going to be a
'Cause
top
then that's-
five.
If he manages to lead them to a national championship, that will bolster
stock will
him
be
up.
high.
Yeah, that will bolster him up the rankings,
Unless
especially
he's
if he
played like
plays well.
shit.
Yeah,
And the
Especially what
defense
we've seen
carries.
with quarterbacks. Like you can move and shake pretty quickly, especially
because-
after what?
I mean,
three or four games, and especially if you have, you're averaging 3, 15, couple tutties. One of those is rushing. You're getting some looks, especially in a bad quarterback. Beck's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Beck's out. A lot of these guys aren't going to be higher draft picks, and
yeah.
somebody's just be like, I'm begging for a quarterback. We've seen it over and over.
Well, there's also.
Would you take
like,
Quinn Ewers?
Would I take Quinn
On
Ewers?
Georgia?
Who am I? Because that
Georgia.
Oh no.
I thought you were going to say like the New York Giants.
Yeah, that's about to say. Depends on the franchise.
I know if he goes into the portal, and Beck is gone, would you take Ewers? Would you?
He is a
No,
great
because-
Oregon Duck.
because
I got you.
Wow.
nah, Dante Moore's still there, dog. They're gonna take Dante.
But he's not been in college football for 12 years. And
No,
Yeah.
but he'll
Yeah.
start next year, and then by the time, they'll roll with Dante.
You think so?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, dude, especially that Oregon schedule next year. We'll get into 2025. We'll get
there.
Oregon schedule.
All right. Well, I'll finish up my SEC. My dark horse team felt good about it. Tennessee finished third in the SEC, as Miggy alluded to, one Arkansas loss away from getting to the SEC championship game. So very, very proud of Tennessee for doing what they did, getting to the college football playoff. Very dark horse-ish. They didn't do it the way I was expecting them to do it. I thought maybe they would sling it around a little bit with that receiving core and Nico, and they had to do it with the running game and your boy Dylan Sampson and that defense, bro. That defense was much better than I was anticipating. And here's where I kind of got things wrong. Kind of. I mean, my most disappointing team was Texas. And with the expectations that they had to win the SEC,
I'd actually kind of say I think you kind of hit on that because
they lost to Georgia twice. Like that's the gold standard of the SEC is Georgia, and you didn't beat them at all this year.
Well, this is
So
probably
you're disappointed.
this is probably also the easiest
Yes.
SEC slate that Texas is going to get.
Yeah.
So I mean, barring next year, because next year you go to Georgia, but I mean you're still playing Mississippi State, Vandy, Kentucky, Florida. I mean,
Yeah.
which
Florida might be better.
dude, DJ Lagway and Arch Manning in 2025.
It's going to look good.
Yeah.
It's going to look real good.
It's incredible.
Chase, you want to
Yeah.
talk to us about your
Let's
thoughts?
see here. So mine, I had Texas versus Georgia. Georgia winning. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Way to go.
This is where it gets scary. Dark horse was Auburn.
Oh.
I was looking back at that schedule, and to this day, it would be really hard not to be like. And I know at the time, I think I was kind of last, and I was saying, well, I don't want to just pick Tennessee, but you look back on the schedule, and Auburn was just bad. The loss at home versus Cal. You get the loss to Arkansas, Oklahoma, of course, Georgia, Missouri at Missouri, Vanderbilt at home.
But I mean,
But then you have a decent little run. You got your little,
outside of the Georgia game, like those were mostly one possession losses. So like, I mean, one play, Peyton Thorne doesn't throw an interception to Oklahoma. I mean, you're not
So you're telling me you want to fix Peyton Thorne's problem?
okay. So I'm just gonna stop talking because I just dug a hole for myself.
Yeah, I was
And,
like, that's the thing, though. Is they're never going to fire Freeze after this one because I guess he's got a love fest with all the donors. They love all what he does, and they love his charisma and give him time, that kind of deal. So for him, surely it turns around, but I don't know. I don't know if you can down there. You got to nail the transfer portal.
They got to get a quarterback. Got to get a quarterback.
Yeah, it's just one of those. I look back on my schedule. That's tough. You got to get more wins. I mean, I understand Vandy was the Cinderella at that time, and you got that good dub on the road, but like, come on, dude. My disappointing team was Alabama.
Feel good about that.
I think you kind of nailed that.
Cashed.
Yeah.
Cashed.
Yeah.
I would consider that cash.
I would consider that, yeah, because they weren't in it. They missed the playoff. DeBoer still had a lot of talent there. I know a lot left, but for what they have expectation-wise inside their fan base, yes, disappointing.
For sure.
So I'll take a check mark next to that.
Take the dub.
Killed it.
I know.
Double up.
Killed it. Dub.
We'll go snake draft style. I'll just hop into the Big Ten.
Go for it, brother.
Oregon, Ohio State. Yeah. I'm going to count their game in Oregon as the championship, so I'm going to count that as a double dub. The dark horse team, USC. USC, man, those first 3 weeks. Boys, those first 3 weeks, I was like,
you were riding high.
Your boy knows ball.
I mean, that LSU win, you were like,
we were tackling. They had magic. Moss was spinning it, boys. He was spinning it. And then they just decided we're going to stop the tackling stuff. We're going to not be good anymore.
Well, it was new to them, to be fair.
That's true. Tackling
it's their first time
new.
tackling. Yeah.
Tackling is very new for the Southern California boys. But I still think they're going to be pretty good. Lincoln Riley, who do they play early next year? Oh, are they at Penn State?
I don't know. I haven't checked their 2025
I saw
schedule.
there was something good coming up. They're going to have a good game early. But for the most part, USC terrible. It broke my heart after those first 3 weeks. I felt real good. I felt real good about USC, and I felt real good about Miggy having no chance to get a jersey from the University of Colorado. But there'll be a Fanatics custom order coming soon. So there's that. Disappointing team, Michigan. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Well,
kind of.
They beat Ohio State, so to them,
they could. Okay, so as a Carolina fan, which we'll get into later, go Tar Heels. It's beating Duke twice, and those being your only 2 wins all year in basketball is a championship run.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
For sure.
Yeah,
beating Michigan or beating Ohio State as Michigan is a championship.
In the parameters of what this game meant this year, with what Ohio State had invested in their roster and what Michigan was doing, you just lost pretty much the entire staff, pretty much the entire roster. Ohio State throws out they're burning money for players at this point. And you just fumble the ball.
How much was Ohio State's roster? Do you remember?
The rumor was $20 million.
It was $20 million cash, brother.
Okay, yes,
yeah.
20
The
million.
rumor was $20 million.
Yeah, raised an estimated $20 million to support this year's roster from the collectives. A lot of ice cream socials out there, boys.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, you cook an egg on Ryan Day's seat right now. So,
what a tough place to be. That guy's got to go win a natty.
I was just gonna say he's got to get at least to a natty or a deep run.
All right, Greg, you're back up.
Oh, it's me again. Sorry, I was looking at Bill Belichick's
going snake draft style.
27-year-old girlfriend, whatever it was.
Tell me that boy can't recruit.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Tell me that boy can't recruit, baby.
I'm not moved.
All right, let's talk about the Big Ten. All right, so I was gonna go Penn State, Ohio State as our championship game. Certainly didn't come to fruition. We did get one. I got one half of the championship, but I had Ohio State as the winner, so Penn State was the loser, so I kind of got that right. Dark horse team, Penn State. I feel real good about that. Mm-hmm. They made it to the championship game. They're in the playoff, high seed, the whole thing. They got a great break in the bracket. Let's see if James Franklin can actually win a big game, though. He still has not proven to do that.
He's got 2 games before he plays a big game.
All of these are big games.
Dude, he's playing SMU.
That's fine. That's the ACC.
And if he wins that,
runner-up.
he's playing Boise State.
Perfect. That's Mountain West.
That's a team of the bye, Joseph.
Yeah, it's a team of the bye.
Okay.
The Penn State,
And
the Penn State alumni will
Sure.
definitely justify this.
And the Heisman runner-up.
Still won't change his record in top 5 games.
It sure won't.
He's not playing Dylan Sampson.
No, I was talking about Ashton Genty, the
Oh,
best
okay.
running back in the land.
Yeah, that's
The what should be the Heisman Trophy winner. But,
yeah, man.
I mean, anyways, my disappointing team pretty much nailed this one. Oregon was my disappointment for
Yes.
this year.
I'm disappointed in you that you picked this.
I'm disappointed in myself. I tried to make a stretch. We tried to make a bold prediction. You know, you got to have some fun with it. Unfortunately, they're not all going to pan out. This is one that didn't pan out. Oregon had a fantastic year. Dylan Gabriel was awesome, and the Ducks are flying high to the number 1 overall seed as we enter the 12-team playoffs. So, sorry about that one, but
Real freezing
other
cold
than that,
takes
I felt
moment.
good about the Big 12. That's fine.
Mr.
I
Harris.
feel like Miggy.
I mean, I'm really the same boat as Greg. I mean, my pick, Penn State, got half of it right. Ohio State is just way too talented. And I thought, hey, they're going to do it. My dark horse was Michigan. I got that right.
No way.
I got that right. They beat one of the most
Just 'cause
talented
they beat
teams.
Ohio
Yeah, bro.
State?
I got
No,
that right. I don't care what you guys talk about. Disappointing team, Ohio State, got that right.
Yeah. You
Got that right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is a disappointing season for Ohio
You
State.
absolutely got that.
100%.
So
Still they made the playoff.
the fact that one game actually kind of makes you right on both of those is really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how much the game means to those two fan bases.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Big game, barreled my ass out.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, I was shooting
Because
from
what
the
if,
hip.
what if Michigan goes out and beats Alabama?
Very well could happen.
I mean, the ReliaQuest Bowl champions.
Gosh.
That bowl just sounds lame.
The ReliaQuest Bowl. Nick Saban's about to come down from the press box on college game day.
That's
I
gonna
mean,
be
he'll
sad.
he'll be in Columbus.
He will.
That's crazy.
I'm excited. Are y'all excited about two college game days?
Hell yeah.
Incredible.
Wait, there's gonna be
Wait,
two. Where's
Not
the other
one, but 2 college
They're
game
doing
days.
a-
how are they
Friday.
going to do
They're
that?
going on.
They're
They're
doing
going on
Friday.
Friday.
For Indiana Notre Dame, and then they're going to
I thought we
Saturday.
were like going like skeleton crew, A crew, and B crew.
Oh, no.
No.
I
2 for
thought
1
they were
special.
recruiting Chatted Up Sports to go be the B crew
If they want
for
to,
college game day.
I'll go to Indiana.
Yeah,
dude,
hell yeah.
ship me up there. I don't care how cold it is.
I'll be our Desmond Howard.
Yes, you
I mean,
will.
yeah. Yeah, there's no.
Oh, boy.
Token.
100%.
I'd be so proud of you.
Who would everybody be on game day?
I
If
think
you
it's
had to-
Kirk Herbstreit.
If you had to pick somebody to be somebody,
You're like a Kirk Reese hybrid.
Yeah, I could go for
Yeah.
that.
Like,
I
I
could
feel
go
like
for
Chase
that.
little
would be
bit of
kind of
both.
Kirkish.
I'm a little Kirky.
okay, so you more Reese, he's more Kurt.
Yeah.
Am I Pat?
No, you're
No.
not.
I wish.
Garrett is
No,
probably
Garrett Tolley is
I'm
Pat McAfee.
I'm staying for Steve.
the less knowledgeable.
Yeah. Stanford Steve. Corso. I'm just kidding.
Corso. Corso?
You got a little Corso in you. You like to get headgear. and
I
stuff.
do love some good headgear.
Yeah, you're Desmond Corso.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little
Desmond Corso.
senile.
Yeah, some good takes every now and then.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah.
Well, a blue moon.
Yeah, we love blue moons.
Hey, a sun shines on a dog's ass every once in a while.
That was a great take. Shout out to Mike's Hole in the Wall for all the blue moons, the best beer, the best wings, best
Much love.
atmosphere. Much
The
love.
best boys and girls that are hanging out on the patio. We got one hanging out here, currently just chilling on the ground.
Look at the white
All the
paws. Look at
dogs.
the socks.
Yeah.
Oh, we do have a good boy idea from Joseph.
Dude. Killed
When
it.
is Rocco
Killed
coming out? We need
So,
Rocco to come.
Rocco doesn't do good like in places like this.
No.
He's too energetic. He just wants to go. If I could let him,
Uh,
if okay, here's my thing with Rocco,
Why don't you just put him out there?
the goodest of boys. I would feel so comfortable like letting him roam around. You know this, like he's good. He won't go anywhere. He won't bite anybody. He won't be whatever. And he would just love on everybody, but it would make everybody else feel uncomfortable. That's how I am with my dog. Is like I feel comfortable enough to let him go anywhere. I've never used a shock collar or nothing like that. He knows where food is. He knows where dad lies. And oh boy, we're
Speaking
coming
of
in.
God. Is that
I'm scared.
That's
that-
the Lord's.
I
Take it
swear
away.
to God, if that's
scared,
the same
bro.
thing. Yeah, one time, the first time.
Yeah, one time's too many.
What are we bringing in?
What do we got here?
Man, I got PTSD.
What we
man.
got? What's in the shot glasses here?
Smells like pineapple.
This is the special on Thursday nights. It's Mikey's favorite shot that he made for all of his Alabama fans. But
Oh God.
I feel so mistreated.
For Alabama fans.
Yeah.
All right, so it smells good.
Okay. Oh, the Rammer Jammer, whatever. Yeah, the Rammer Jammer. We missed the 12-team playoff.
Hey,
Yeah,
love
that's
that.
what it is.
One of those.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you, Josh.
Incredible.
Josh, thank you, man.
Yeah, bro, you got us once.
You got to give it to Chase. Chase didn't get it.
Oh, he got one.
No,
No, it's you got Malort's? You were here?
No.
He didn't get a
Oh,
Malort.
God,
he has
dude.
to get
Yeah, he
that.
didn't get one.
It's like a chatted up initiation.
I'm a dad. I can't do it. Well, boys.
So we
Cheers.
Cheers to Mike's.
Cheers to Mike's.
Cheers to
We
Mike.
love
you,
a great
Mike's.
college football season and our boy GT, wherever he may be. Feel better, my friend.
We love you,
This is
GT.
Cheers.
Tastes like orange juice.
I'm gonna be honest with you. In terms of shots that Josh has brought to the table
That's a good
for
one.
the crew,
I feel like this is a humongous up to about to be a humongous down.
I don't feel like he could have been any further on the spectrum than the first one from the second one.
I feel like
Because-
I'm about to hit both in about
Yeah.
Brother, I'm telling you,
4 minutes.
Dog.
and I mean this,
You should have taken the Malort's first and then had that.
yeah, 100%, because it will stick with you through like next Thursday.
Like, I'm being real. Like, you're about to drink some gasoline.
It is the most disgusting
It
thing I've
doesn't
ever
All
taste
had.
right, boys.
It doesn't
Listen.
taste
Back.
horrible.
I've told you guys plenty times before, but the first thing I ever had to drink when I was 16 years old on my patio at 6 a.m. in the morning, and the friend uncles, come over to the house, and somebody brought some white lightning.
A little white lightning action.
Yeah, welcome to Dayton, Tennessee. And the first drink I ever had in my entire life was white lightning. So now this is about to be a reoccurrence, it feels like.
See, the thing though is with white lightning, like that just burns. Like it's just pure.
I was
burn.
16, Joseph.
I know.
I didn't have chest hair.
It's
And
just-
then like my dad goes, let's go put some hair on your chest. I promise you 2 days later I had chest hair.
It's just pure
I
burn.
wish it worked on your face.
Like what you're about.
I had a good little run this week. You've been proud.
Dang, why don't we get a picture?
You gotta let it grow, bro. You
Yeah.
gotta let it go.
Yeah,
Just let it grow.
He won't do it.
can't do
We've been begging him for 4 years.
can't do it.
I've been begging him for 4 years.
We just gotta make a bet, and he's gotta lose
Ooh.
something.
I don't lose.
Except to Miggy.
I mean, we
One
listen,
time.
brother, we
His
still
track
got some-
record is 0-1.
we still got some conferences to go through. With
Well,
the
let's
picks.
try to sum it up.
Okay, so finishing up the Big Ten, I was also on the Oregon-Ohio State train. I mean, I'm not wrong. Ryan Day you just blew that for me. So, suck it, go Ducks. My dark horse team was Nebraska. Could not have been any more wrong about that. Nebraska finished 6-6.
Again, 3 games in.
Dylan Raiola
Felt good.
like,
Yeah.
Just beat Colorado. Like
Yeah.
you were balling.
I mean, they crushed Colorado,
yeah,
and I
smoke
was
that
like,
sorry ass
yeah,
team.
let's go, baby. Like here we
I
are.
got to buy a $150 jersey with that sorry ass team.
He ain't even paying
It
attention.
says Miggy on the back of it.
Listen, I'm so sorry.
I just could not be any more wrong about that. And then my disappointing team was Penn State. And you know what? I'm not gonna be humble about this one. I still think I was right, because what did Penn State do this year that they haven't done every other year in James Franklin? They lost
They
to
got,
Ohio
they
they
State.
got to the championship
lost to
game.
Ohio-
They don't get to the
They
championship game.
backdoored their way into
I
the
don't give a shit.
championship.
You
That was the
backdoored your way into a
championship.
championship, too.
And we won it.
Hey,
And
at least
we
they
won.
got there.
Listen, they got
They don't
there.
usually get there. They got there.
They couldn't beat Ohio State again. They didn't play Michigan, so they didn't have to lose to Michigan again. They played Oregon in the championship game, so there's your in facto Michigan loss again.
In fact, Michigan.
And Penn State did what they do every other year.
They made it to the playoff.
They do what because the field tripled in teams.
Penn
I'm
State is
literally
not a
crippled.
good football
Literally
team, bro.
You know, dude, I'm gonna die on this hill. Penn State having a disappointing season.
They're going to the semifinals.
Yeah, and they're gonna play, Sisters of the Poor Tech.
They're playing Boise and SMU.
Boy, I love it. I'm right there with you.
I mean, I'm just.
What did you call
get
it? Burger
it.
King U or
I
something
get
like
it.
that?
Burger King
they're
Tech
gonna
and Chuck
play-
E. Cheese State.
Yeah, that's who their first two playoff matchups are against. But no disrespect, all the love in the world to Rhett Lashley, but Penn State did what they've done every other year of the James Franklin. They lost the big games. They backdoored their way into a Big Ten title game, and they got their ass whipped.
No, they hung. They get their ass whipped. Ass whip would have been like 34-7. They hung.
At any point in time, did you believe they were going to win that game?
Not one time.
Exactly.
Not
but
one
they
time.
put up a better fight than I thought they would. Like, they actually made the game entertaining.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be an ass kick.
You know who put up a good fight all season? Vandy.
They sure did. They were one of the most fun teams to watch all
Pavia
year
or bust,
long.
baby.
Is he done?
I don't
Apparently
know,
he's-
actually.
Well, he's suing the NCAA for another year of eligibility.
Oh,
So he
awesome.
sued them
So-
twice. One for money. Is that
That'll
right?
go over well.
I don't know. I know one time for
Ooh.
eligibility. I don't know if he's doing that again.
Okay.
You guys talking about Diego Pavia?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's coming to Axel Logistics, man. We got his application the other day.
That's
Oh,
good.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Get
Yeah.
that flag football league.
Hey,
in, baby.
baby, we're going to be the best.
Get that flag football league.
Come
in.
do intramurals, brother, because it's over.
Show off that 7-second speed.
It's over.
Well, real snake draft style. Let's move on to the ACC because this is where it gets kind of ugly for your boy here.
Oh boy.
So my
For
championship
a lot
game,
of us.
my
It is
championship
bad.
game was Florida State, and I feel like I should just stop there. It was Florida State and Miami. Florida State went 2-10, and Miami just did what they did last year and just had an inexplicable loss to Syracuse to miss the ACC title game. So I could not have been further from the truth on the ACC championship. Yeah, thanks, Mario. I won't pick you again. You're full on Penn State territory for me right now. So
And
That's
they didn't
where
even
we're
make
going.
the college football playoff.
exactly.
At least James Franklin made it.
At least they
Not a disappointment.
somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Some way.
Not a
I will
disappointment.
say though, dark horse team Syracuse. I
Yes.
just sniped that
Yes.
one, bro.
Snipe.
Syracuse
Snipe.
absolutely was an incredible team. Fran Brown, I love you. I said that in the pregame. I was a big fan of Fran Brown. I believed in him. That team plays with physicality. Kyle McCord, while he's
Would have
not good
won.
enough to win at Ohio State, he is good enough to carry Syracuse.
Neither is Will Howard.
Shout out to the boys.
Would Cal McCord have beaten Michigan?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You don't think he could have gotten one more square?
No. We're talking about men that threw 5 picks against Pitt.
Pitt looked all right.
He had a bad day.
Pitt looked all
Hey,
right.
we're all entitled to a bad day. They beat
Pitt
Miami.
looked all right.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And I love Kyle McCord at Syracuse. I love Kyle McCord. I'm not a fan of Honda McCord, who played at Pitt.
He was bad.
He was bad.
He was bad.
that night.
He was bad.
real bad that night. So
Now, that's one of the funnest quicksand moments I've ever watched in my life. I hate to watch the downfall of a man, but that was one that was just comical. Because you get to 3, you're like, surely.
there's no way you
Like
throw
butter.
another one.
Like
mean, we
three.
We were here, and our boy Corey Belosny was sitting here, a big Pitt fan, at that table
Shout out to Corey.
watching the
man.
game, and he was going crazy.
I mean, I feel like after 3, I'm looking at Fran Brown. I'm like, brother, you just
Run the rock.
stop throwing the ball. Like,
Just
please,
run the rock.
just please put this man out of his misery. And then, back to just, absolutely the dumpster fire that was my ACC predictions outside of Syracuse. Shout out Fran Brown again. I picked Clemson to have a disappointing season. And, I said they can't afford another 9-3 season. They ended up 9-3, but they just happened to backdoor their way into the ACC title game and beat SMU. So I guess we're chalking that one up as like a 50-50 because Nailed the Record did not nail them winning their 9th ACC title under Dabo Swinney. So
Miami just has to win games.
Miami just, they stabbed me in the back, and then just for extra measure, they turned around and then they just put one right through the heart. And they were like, you know what? Here you go, brother.
Miggy.
I mean, I clearly nailed my ACC predictions with Florida State as the winner of the ACC.
Yep,
Um,
got it. It's
My-
like all of us.
my dark horse team, NC State. I might just not know ball, fellas, at this moment. I'm here clearly.
Hey,
As a group, we did not know ACC ball,
Yeah.
or from what I'm looking like, the Big 12.
And Georgia Tech I completely whiffed because they were a really good football team. Really good. Should have beat the Georgia Bulldogs, but talent started to show towards the end of the football game. So,
Haynes King, baby. Haynes King for life.
Haynes King.
ACC.
Yikes. Okay, well, for my ACC, we're all just going to kind of be shit when it comes to the championship game. Florida State, Miami. Miami should have been there. Again, Syracuse upset Miami in that situation. I had Florida State winning. Terrible prediction. Yeah, we all had it. We didn't see it coming. It is what it is. Move on. Dark horse teams. Joseph said it to me when I came in. He's like, you kind of hedged a little bit. But I do feel good about both teams that I mentioned, Louisville and SMU. Louisville finished 5th, 5-3 in the conference, 8-4. That's a good season for Coach Braun.
Beat Clemson.
Yeah, that's the ACC champion right
You
there.
were leading for like 4 games.
Only
I think,
lost
the
to
ACC.
Miami by a touchdown.
Yeah.
They had a really solid season. I like Louisville's season. Really good season. I was proud of them for that. And then SMU, 8-0 in the conference until the championship game. 11-2, made the college football playoff. Dark horse, bam.
Sniped that one, dude.
Nailed it.
I mean, totally sniped that one.
Love it. I know ACC ball, clearly. And then disappointing team, Cal. Terrible. 2-6 in the conference, 6-6 overall, bottom of the barrel. I know they played Miami tough,
Terrible.
I get it, but they were terrible,
And their quarterback's transferring out.
as he should.
Is that Justin Wilcox?
That's the head coach, yeah.
Yeah.
The quarterback's Francisco Mendoza.
He was a long-time Tennessee defensive coordinator, man. That's a ball for life if I've ever seen one. I support Cal. Yes, sir. Bring him out.
Bring him out, bring him out.
Bring him
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, with the barrel in your
City.
mouth.
Yeah.
So,
But this is what you get when you finish.
yeah, you get a consolation prize, which is not a consolation prize.
Chase.
It is a.
I was going to say, I hope you have the camera on yourself.
As a
right now.
camera on
The
yourself,
heart of the
man.
Lords.
Lords for
yeah,
life.
Can
you
you
don't
please?
Cheers, brother.
don't cheers him. Do not appreciate what he just gave you.
Here's
Just-
to America. Here's to all the wonderful alcoholics in my family that makes it not too bad.
that's going to taste about as good as our ACC predictions.
That's pretty terrible. That's pretty terrible.
That's supposed to be good. Yeah.
It's not supposed to be good. It's like the worst mouthwash you could possibly
Yes,
create.
exactly.
But then if you filtered it into a sweaty sock afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you warm that up in a sweaty sock?
Well, I put it into my language.
I thought so. That's what it tastes
Jingle
like.
bells, jingle bells.
You're not getting your Christmas card. You're not getting your Christmas card. Get out of here. Go. Leave now. Leave now. That sucked.
No,
That
but like
sucked.
You're
you
champ.
did not.
Yeah, what a
flinch.
champ, man!
Oh,
Like
you're a
you,
champ.
you.
Fearless.
Listen,
Well,
boy.
to be fair, and I don't mean this because this ain't you, Chase. This is Josh. The shot he brought you out was half full. The shot he brought to us the first time we did the Malorts were full cups.
Yeah.
Like it was a.
So still
He did a wellness check.
yeah. So to be honest, this is like a weird superpower of mine.
Yeah.
That I've always been able to just like kind of crush those. I don't like to do it, to be
Oh.
honest. Don't like to do it.
Okay.
But yeah, thanks to multiple generations of just wonderful personalities, but terrible alcoholics in my family. Yeah, this is part of it. Like this is one of those weird things you can do that you don't like to do.
Yeah.
You know, there's like some guys out there that hate playing baseball, but they're really good at it.
Yeah, totally.
I
Yeah.
hate playing baseball. Best sport ever. It looks miserable out there.
Old Curly from the 1920s thought so.
Bro, I mean, you took it like a G. I mean, ETSU should be proud of their son right now.
There's it was one of those things that I was too good of a friend a lot of times. They're like, Chase, will you please take this? And I would just do it or I'd throw it away. A lot of times I threw it away, but a lot of times I'm like, you know what? I'll just
Free
take this.
alcohol,
That's
free
low
booze.
key. Like that's what a true friend. Where it's like, yeah, I'll take this, and then you don't tell them that you just like dump it in the trash. Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
I respected you before. Like, you just showed me some dog.
Dude, that's what I do.
I knew it.
There's
Oh.
dog in there, but like not like Georgia Bulldog. I don't like do it.
I mean, I'm just saying,
No, of
you
course,
want to,
of
you know,
Yeah,
we're always open. Doors
No.
always open.
the DOGG.
Yeah, D-O-double-G.
Live.
DAWG is always there.
Seeing this happen in real time as well on our Twitter feed,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
pretty
beautiful.
funny. And
Incredible.
Beautiful.
Incredible.
dude,
Cinema.
like I told you, this freaking camera just rocks.
Your demeanor changed a little bit, though. I will say after you took that shot.
Oh yeah.
Your hat's up. It's still to the side. You look a little disheveled.
Your brain's trying to process what it's tasting.
Yeah,
right
because
now.
it doesn't make any sense. Because you told me like it's a mouthwashy-ish.
Terrible mouthwash. It's the worst mouthwash you ever put
That's
in your mouth.
easily the worst drink I've ever had, bro.
Yeah.
by
easily.
far.
I don't
by far.
know. Yeah, the moonshine was better than that.
Yeah, because it's like it burns.
Yeah,
That actually just tastes bad.
this
It
lingers.
tastes like
just
dog
generally, yeah,
crap.
tastes like you just licked like a sweaty sock.
What?
I have
the
a
worst-
lemon if you want it. Do you want a lemon?
No, I'm good.
That would help.
No, I'm good. We're gonna. This is. I need to go through this process.
What a champ.
I need to go through this process. You guys went through it. I need to.
We did.
One of us.
One of us. One of us. One of us.
All right, let's run it back,
All right.
boys.
Great.
Now I'm gonna go talk about a terrible shot and my terrible picks. Holy,
What a combo, baby.
Great
holy
combination.
crap!
Deadly
All right,
combination.
Florida State, Miami. All of us have that.
I think we all.
At least
We're
you had Miami
unanimous.
winning.
We're unanimous.
No. You had Florida State, Clemson. So Miggy did have one different pick with Florida State and Clemson, but he had Florida State winning.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Dark horse, NC State, baby.
Woo!
Believed in it. Believed it.
I did too.
Hey,
Yeah.
if Grayson McCall didn't get hurt, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you got to tell
Totally,
yourself to
totally.
sleep at night.
Chanticleer
Disappointing team,
champs.
Clemson.
Super disappointing.
I'm right there with you, brother.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If Clemson doesn't make the ACC championship game, would it have been a disappointing season?
Yes. Because you are
Right?
far and away and should be far and away the best program in that conference. The rest of that conference is just, especially with Florida State being down this year, like you should be far and away. Like it should be every year when we go into the ACC until Florida State or Miami like actually gets their stuff together. Until one of those two programs does. Every year when we preview the ACC, it should be like, all right, who's playing Clemson?
Yeah.
As long as Dabo's there, that's what the preseason ACC outlook should be: is who's playing Clemson.
So Miami just handles business. They win their last game, whatever else. A 9-3
Non-ACC
Clemson team.
title. Yep. No
That's
playoffs.
disappointing.
Disappointment.
And they would have finished what? 16th to 17th?
17.
Probably 20th
Yeah.
because they got the boost from winning the
Yep,
ACC title.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So probably 20 to 25. They're in that range.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, who's their best win? They got blanked by Georgia. They lost to Louisville. They lost to
South Carolina.
South Carolina. So you lose the rivalry, you lose the opener, and you lose to Louisville at home.
Their best win to this point is SMU. But without that, I don't know.
Yeah, without that, their best wins.
But I you know what's funny is after all that, I forgot they lost to South Carolina.
Oh, Lenore Sellers.
The last second touchdown. The
That
last
man-
minutes.
I mean, if you can buy a stock, buy Lenore Sellers stock
Oh,
now.
the South Carolina hype train for next season is out.
Oh,
of this
God.
have you guys seen like they're already sold out? Season tickets, their collectives up,
Not
everything up. Sellers got SEC freshman of the year.
Well, they paid y'all see the renewal, they paid Dylan Stewart like
1.5.
1.5 million.
1.5
To come
million.
back.
Homie, straight
So,
cash, baby.
I mean,
They announced it on ESPN like he was a NFL defensive end.
no way.
Yeah, they're like, he has come back on a new deal to South Carolina.
saying that like he didn't have to come back.
Like-
I mean, I guess he could have transferred. He
Like,
didn't
buddy,
have-
you were in college
he's 19.
on a new deal. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you should follow Chatted Up Sports on all platforms.
Hey, flip that bad boy up. You can
Oh,
scan
yeah.
this. You can scan this QR code here in just a second.
Oh, I took the jersey with me.
Friday Night Lights. But with Clemson too, it's I don't know if it's going to get better with Belichick at Carolina. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And I do want to.
wait.
I do want to talk
Can't
about.
wait.
I've got
for sure.
I've got a fantastic overall perspective now.
I
think, of
cannot-
college sports.
Cannot wait to hear.
Yeah. So, yeah. God, Clemson. Anyways, back to you, Greg Gardner.
I thought we were going snake. Isn't
Wait,
it?
no,
you?
yeah, it's all you on
Yeah,
Big
you gotta
12. You're
finish
going
it
right,
out,
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
you're
right,
going
right,
right
right.
to the Big
Yeah,
12, brother.
I didn't want to talk about it.
It doesn't get much better in the Big 12.
Oh, the Big 12 is bad.
This is really bad.
But I mean, like,
I'm not. I
yeah,
don't even know.
go ahead.
Okay, this is heartbreaking. All right, with the Big 12,
The Gus Bus.
I had the Gus Bus. versus
He's not even there anymore. He went and took an
Florida-
offensive coordinator.
Florida State's offensive coordinator, head coach of UCF at one point this season,
Oh no.
versus
Oh,
the
no.
Utah Utes.
Oh, no.
Man, what did Utah wind up finishing out?
2-7 in the conference, 5-7 overall.
Yikes
Ooh.
City. Okay.
And Cam Rising was injured again.
Again. 3 games in, your boy was looking good.
Yeah, totally.
Uh,
Then they lost to Florida.
dark horse team. Country roads did not take me home. West Virginia. Disappointing team. Backdoored my way into this one. Oklahoma State.
Oh, dude.
Good for you.
good
Nailed.
for you.
I mean,
Yeah.
Bro.
absolutely nailed.
Mike
that.
Gundy,
They
Owen
had
Asher.
what an abysmal performance this year from Oklahoma State,
Terrible.
man. Just
It just felt right. When Gundy has pressure to be good, he's never good.
the expectations, man, are too much.
I cannot stand that man. I do
Really?
not like Mike Gundy. Not at all.
He's a man though. He's 40.
Yeah, he's
Now
also
he's
a
like 50.
liar.
I know he's like 70 now.
He's a liar. He has played Tennessee like a fiddle, not once, but twice
Yeah.
to get a raise.
Yeah. Also, real quick, did you guys see the Gruden has hopped on with Barstool?
Yes.
I did not see it.
So Gruden's on with Barstool now,
Okay.
and there's a clip out there. I'll send it to you guys. He was pretty dang close to Tennessee. Pretty close. Not like he was inside the red zone. He wasn't at the goal line. So that was a possibility.
I wouldn't have hated it, but like, I'm all right without it.
Of course, now that we got hype.
Yeah.
Yeah. But looking
Anytime,
back,
anywhere.
Looking back, I would have much rather had John Gruden than Jeremy Pruitt, but I was all over the Jeremy Pruitt hire. I loved it like I loved air.
yikes.
Bad
I'm glad
decision-making.
I missed that era.
Me
Yeah,
too.
G, you missed.
You missed.
tough.
You missed some
Some
rough
BS.
years.
I'm not
Butch,
gonna lie to you, man.
Pruitt,
Your rating,
Dooley,
because of how sad it was, if you'd have just talked about how bad Tennessee football was, you would have probably been the greatest radio hire of all time. They would have just loved it. People just calling in during your lunch hour, crying multiple days.
Georgia State,
oh yeah.
I'll never forget.
BYU.
never forget. The wounds are still there. But hey, we're in the college football
Montana.
playoff now.
And you
Don't
got
even-
a chance to shock the world and beat Ohio State.
Exactly. Do
And
not
now-
dwell on the past.
And now,
Friends.
right now, there's no doubt about it. We are the best overall athletic program in the
100%.
Yeah, yeah.
We are
100%.
XL champions, boys.
Just won the baseball national championship.
Natty.
Number one in basketball right
Number
now. right?
one. Joseph.
Yeah.
And nobody talks about the women. The softball team went to the women's college World
Yep.
Series,
Yes.
and the Lady Balls are pretty damn good in their own right on the
Ain't
basketball
lost.
court.
Top
Ain't
25.
lost.
Coach Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Young, fast, she's cruiting, baby.
She's cooking a baby and cooking folks on the court.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, sir.
What a
Tell 'em.
combo.
Like that, didn't you?
I like that a lot.
Boom.
Hey, shout out to our 85 current listeners right now.
Hell yeah. If
Love
you got any
y'all.
comments?
Let's go,
Anybody in
baby.
the chat?
Mr. Perry is crushing the comments.
Oh, come on.
Per
what's
usual.
What's Aaron talking about?
All
I missed
right,
him. I miss
uh,
talking to him. I
I
miss talking
know.
to everybody.
He really wants to know about the Belichick stuff, so we'll get to that here shortly.
Hey,
Yeah, we're
let's-
wrapping up. We're wrapping up our.
Yeah,
our
let's
twen-
go
our
ahead and crush
predictions, so.
these. My Big 12 is terrible. Outside of the disappointing team. Go
Well, mine was probably worse than yours, and yours was pretty bad. So, had the Utes versus Kansas State,
Oof.
Ooh,
and Utah is your winner. But I will say Cam Rising wasn't healthy, so I'm
it's
going
true.
to
It's an asterisk.
caveat there.
Yeah.
My dark horse team, the old Arizona Wildcats.
Man.
And again, after the first 2 weeks, I was feeling good. And then they got smoked by Kansas State. You beat Utah, and then you rattle off 5 straight losses. And it was just all downhill. Finished right above Oklahoma State. If I had them for the most disappointing, I would have felt great. 2-7, 4-8 overall. But we didn't go that way. Dark horse team did not pan out. And then my disappointing team, can I backdoor my way into saying Colorado was disappointing? Because
No.
it seemed like they were like the favorites to go to the Big
No.
12
Can't do it.
championship
Can't
game.
do it.
No.
And they disappointed and didn't even get there.
Don't
You
reach
can't
it.
do it.
Don't reach,
College
young blood.
football
Don't reach,
player.
young blood.
You're
Can I get one?
No.
Like,
Don't reach, young blood.
they were
No.
disappointing. They were supposed to go to the Big 12 championship.
No.
You
No.
reach, I teach, baby.
No.
You reach, I teach, baby.
School me. Yeah, it was Big 12 was just bad for me
It's okay.
overall. Just bad. We don't know Big 12 ball.
We didn't know ACC or we didn't know Big 12.
I was okay
yeah.
with ACC. Louisville and SMU and Cal.
You got, yeah, we can
I
get.
was okay with that. It was the championship was bad.
Yeah, the championship.
Oh, for all.
You
Florida
know,
State really screwed that whole thing up.
Why did I think it makes so much sense too with Florida State? What they showed by not playing in the bowl game too against Georgia, that just always feels like a formula of huge letdown. NIL heavily driven in that category for them. It just seems like the perfect combination for the next year to be disappointing. Not this level. I wouldn't have thought at this level, but it's like that makes so much sense. Why did I not see that? Because it just happens.
I think we're just blinded because we thought Mike Norvell was a really good football coach.
And for some reason, going back and watching the video, a lot of us thought DJU had turned a corner.
Why did I think that?
And
what idiots?
that was just not the case.
Why DJ?
Like we thought he was on this like get back tour where he was gonna, prove Dabo wrong, and he
So did Dr. Pepper.
Did
The commercials came down after week 3.
I do want to ask this. Can
Yes.
we retroactively give Jordan Travis the Heisman?
Easily.
I don't
Didn't they
know.
have a
man.
bomb-ass wide receiver out there, too?
Keon Coleman.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, was he better than Jaden Daniels?
No.
No.
More important, he was.
MVP.
He is a
So there's-
Davey
there is
O'Brien
no
Award
doubt.
winner.
There is no doubt. It is so. To me now,
Cam Ward won that award this year. He just won it tonight.
The Davey O'Brien award.
They just give that to anybody, man.
but
Push the doors.
Jordan Travis,
Cam
my
is the best.
lord,
The most valuable player to his team out
No
of
doubt.
anybody last year.
yeah,
Was he that good?
he
Apparently
was. And
He was that good at doing what Florida State wanted to do.
you can go back. I said at the beginning of that year, I was like, Jordan Travis is your best player and your Heisman winner. I that is one of those I will wholeheartedly remember in my heart because I was like, that guy right there is an absolute playmaker. And if he would have kept healthy, they would have made the playoff. Dub, boys.
And it happened against Northern Alabama. Injured against Northern Alabama.
Hate to see it.
I bet you he will hate Northern Alabama.
Probably didn't
forever.
even need to play in
Forever
that
and
game.
always. Who was the coach at Northern Alabama? The guy went on to be somebody.
Oh, I have no idea.
Garrett Tyler.
Could be.
I tease on it. I
It
tease
was
on
like Cedric Tillman getting hurt against
Akron.
Akron, yes.
it. Yeah.
I was
That kind
so
of hurt us
mad.
that year from an offensive standpoint, not having him.
Looking at my Big 12, I had Colorado winning the conference, which I don't feel too far off on.
I'll give you that one. That was close.
But Oklahoma State was half of that. So
Never mind.
completely whiffed. My dark horse team was Kansas. Kansas looked like they could
That's
beat
a nice
anybody
wins.
in the country the last month of the season.
You didn't want to face them or South Carolina at the end of the year.
Nope.
My most disappointing team won the whole damn thing. Arizona State is in the college football
With a
playoff
first round bye.
with a first round bye.
Oh,
Bro.
brother.
I do not know ball, fellas.
We've been trying to tell you this.
It's okay.
Don't worry, Mickey. I'm right there with you, brother, because my Big 12 was just as bad. I had Kansas State and Oklahoma State playing in the Big 12 title game with Kansas State winning. We obviously all know what Oklahoma State was, the dumpster fire they were this year. Kansas State, I think, would have had to have a couple of programs just cease to exist for them to make the Big 12 this year. My dark horse team was Arizona. I was right there with you, Greg. I believed in Noah Fafita, and I believed in Teteroa McMillan. And I also believed in, to coin a term from the man Brooks Austin himself, Buddy from San Jose State. And that just totally let me down because Arizona just completely flopped after the first 3 games this season.
Arizona is the Big 12 version of Missouri.
Yes.
Decent. What you thought
I don't even know if they were that good.
They weren't
They were
that
not.
good, but here's why why you thought both teams were going to be good is because going into the season you were like, oh, that quarterback wide receiver combo is incredible. Like they'll beat people by that.
I mean,
That's all they had.
that's literally, yeah. If Ted McMillan was not getting the ball, Arizona was not moving the ball.
Were they playing? I don't remember who it was. They had the Friday night, the big Friday night.
Kansas State.
Kansas State. Teddy Millen got the 10 catch, 155 yards, 2 tutties game, and they lost by like 30.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Was not
oh
close.
yeah, that's what happens when you only have one dude.
He's going to be so good in the NFL.
Yeah.
I think he won. I know he was a finalist. I think he won the Biletnikoff.
The Biletnikoff.
I think he won the Biletnikoff.
I'm
He's
on
the
it.
best receiver in football.
I think. I might be wrong. I know he's
all
at least
the awards
a
are coming out tonight.
but I think he won the Biletikoff. And then, anyways, to close out our predictions, naturally, keeping with my theme of crashing and burning on my Big 12 predictions, I had Colorado as the most disappointing team. And I did give a reason. I did say that they're not going to be disappointing from a what they're going to accomplish standpoint. I thought they'd be like 6-6, which I thought would have been a successful season for where Dion was at with that program. And I thought they're going to fall short of expectations because of the media hype train that had hopped on Colorado in Dion's first year. Well, that was wrong too. They were actually just a really good team.
I was going to say, if I don't get it, you don't get it.
And Shador proved to be a really good quarterback. Travis was even better than we thought he was going to be. And yeah, Dion just totally proved me wrong. So my bad.
It's
Bucks.
okay. It is all right. Being a fan of Colorado has been great. Shador is he's an elite talent, going to be the first overall pick to the Vegas Raiders. Travis Hunter, Heisman winner. His girl is I think she's a gold digger, brother. There's been some rumors out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He's going to marry her when he gets signed to an NFL team. He said
Interesting.
she's been mad at him. He blew a kiss at the cheerleaders in his last game. And,
I mean,
it was
come on.
trouble.
Maybe
in
she was sitting
paradise.
right behind them.
No. He tried to give her a hug after the game, and she withheld that love.
Yikes.
Yeah, she's going to take him to the woodshed, boys.
That's cold.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
That's
man.
cold.
Tough.
Well, boys, that closes out our
Where we got it right? Where we
revisiting
got it
our
wrong?
preseason predictions. So
SEC and college football Power 4 conferences.
here's to hoping we're better next year.
Cheers to that.
Truly.
Yeah.
At least just in the Big 12. I felt pretty good about everything else.
Yeah. And the ACC. I'd like to be better in the ACC.
Just the championship game.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you did
Just
kind of.
the
Yeah, the SMU pick was kind of a.
Thank you. I
Was a
appreciate
dart.
that. Thank you.
So with that being said, boys, they released the 2025 SEC schedules last night,
They sure as shit did.
and man, there are some good matchups here. I've got us posted here. Some notable conference games, and this one really pertains to the show. In the third week of the season, the Dogs make a trip up to Knoxville in what is probably the earliest I've ever watched Georgia and Tennessee play each
Since
other.
1995.
It is week 3 that the Dogs will be traveling up to Knoxville. How do we feel? How do we feel about that being because that always feels like an October-style game to me. And
I
we're
love
rolling
it.
it out right in the midst of September.
I love it.
You kind of you usually relate it back to like a memory. For mine was the Halloween game, the black jerseys, the hardest spin move. Like those were my memories of the Georgia game or the South Carolina game. Like those are like the times like I look back, I'm like, oh man, South Carolina, Georgia belong in October. This feels so weird. And the fact that now we talked about Florida too being so late. This is a game that I don't know if I love this early, but perception matters. If you go ahead and get it out of the way, and as G mentioned in the group text, if you lose to Georgia late, let's try to change it up a little bit. So feels weird, but welcome to the new SEC, and we're going to get a lot of weird scheduling going on from now on. Like the fact that I guess we're keeping Alabama as the third week in October, but outside of that,
That'll always stay.
that'll always stay.
That's one of the staple games.
But for the Georgias, the Kentuckys, like all that's going to feel very different now. And I hate it and I love it because it's not the same. Change is getting weird in our 30s. So, yeah. This is good.
Question for you, Chase.
Yeah.
JJ's wedding. Was that the third Saturday in October?
It
Sure
was.
Well, but it was a weird year because it was technically
Because
the
I was
first-
going to say,
it was
like,
the
JJ
first-
wouldn't be that dumb to have
no,
his
it was
wedding
the
on
first
that
time that
Saturday.
we'd actually played on the third Saturday in October in like 5 years
Oh.
because of the way, like, you know, the scheduling and whatnot.
Yeah.
So he was like planning this thing out a year in advance before the schedule came out.
Yeah.
And I think it was like actually like a week before the schedules came out.
Oh.
And he was like, no way. But then, as JJ always put it, he's like, this is the most me thing possible. So, but we enjoyed it. Like, that was a fun
We sure
night.
did. That was a
Like,
great time.
Yeah. I
It's a
actually
great
like
time.
that better. I mean, I know you would have had fun going to the game, but overall, that was awesome.
It was pretty awesome. Like, it was much better than just like sitting in our apartment, sitting in our house and watching it and just being excited. It was great to be around everybody. DJ playing Rocky Top, smoking cigars with the boys. Like, it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, especially like getting that. I got that picture again this year.
Yes.
Like, you know, kind of revisited
Yep.
on the Facebook. I was like, dang, that was fun. That was fun. Don't schedule weddings in the fall.
Don't do that. We've
Don't.
already had that conversation.
not a good idea.
But no, I love it. Like, for what Chase said of like what I alluded to in the group chat last night, it was, hey, look, we keep losing to Georgia late in the season. Why not switch it up? F it. Try something different. If it keeps being broke, you better fix it. And so we're going to try to fix it by having Georgia in week 3. I know, folks, I know it feels weird. But just buy into, hey, sometimes change can be good. And in this instance, let's hope change can be good. Not for your sake. Sorry about that.
Hey, I get it. I understand. We're rooting for opposite teams here. We're rooting for opposite teams.
We'll
here.
be there.
Can you just
That's-
talk shit one time? I just want to hear Joseph talk a little smack.
He's a good guy, man.
We got it. We got it the other night after the Texas win. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah.
So,
Also,
no, to like us, not like
Oh, yeah,
everybody
yeah,
talks
yeah,
shit against
yeah,
Texas,
yeah,
but
yeah,
like,
of course.
can you talk some shit about Tennessee? Man, we'll break
One
you in.
day.
We'll get
One
there
day.
one
Yeah,
day.
yeah, one day.
One day. If he keeps beating us down like he has.
But there's so I listed out some notable games. Obviously, UGA Tennessee being week 3, I wanted to put that at the front of the list. We kind of have the same, the schedules being the same as this year. They're just flip-flopped. So some notable conference games. Texas travels to UGA in week 12. Bama travels to UGA in week 5. Tennessee at Bama is in week 8, third Saturday in October. Obviously, that's a staple. But Texas travels to Florida. And we alluded to it earlier a little bit. That's DJ Lagway and Arch Manning
that's a good
in the
one.
swamp. That's going to be an incredible game.
Now, I've
I
not
sure hope
looked. Have you guys seen? Is there a? You know how the 12th of October, and the 19th we talked about that night was
Yes.
so special. Have we?
Yes.
I've not seen the
there
Big
is-
Ten.
There is a day. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but the opening weekend is actually kind of wild in the SEC. So if you want to go ahead and transition to out of conference games,
The Texas game is on October 4th.
yes,
Yeah.
for the
It wasn't on
Texas-
there, but I wasn't sure if you're talking about.
Oh yeah. So to transition to notable non-conference games, that first weekend, August 30th, LSU is at Clemson, South Carolina is at Virginia Tech, Alabama is at Florida State, Tennessee is at Syracuse and Atlanta, Texas is at Ohio State,
Wow.
and then Auburn's at Baylor.
Hell yeah.
August 30th and 31st,
Wow.
that Labor Day weekend is going to be loaded,
us lit.
gentlemen.
Light those
Absolutely
fires.
loaded.
My beautiful wife, my beautiful daughter. I'll let you know that I will not be attending anything.
Go ahead. Go ahead and block off August 30th. You know what? August 29th, August 30th, August 31st, and September 1st. Just go ahead, cut it all out. Go ahead and prep your couch, prep your friends, prep your family. You're going to be busy. You're going to be on the couch.
Boys,
There's going to be a mold of you on said couch.
Yeah.
And you're going to absolutely fiend the first weekend of college football because there are some incredible matchups.
I think that's a good day.
At Ohio State.
I mean, that is just,
Jeez.
that's everything you could want and more. And we also have no idea what Ohio State's going to look like at that point. Is Ryan Day still there?
Boys, he's not.
He
I
gone.
swear he's not.
He gone.
I think there's a first round exit coming. That's
see.
just me.
we'll see. We'll certainly preview the game, and I'm very excited to break down that game. But to go on and some other notable matchups throughout the season, Kansas plays at Missouri in week 2, so an old Big 12 rivalry getting renewed. Arizona State plays at Mississippi State, which could be a very interesting game. Sam Levitt's probably going to come back to Arizona State. He's been really solid for them. We don't know what Mississippi State's going to look like next year. Maybe it's Jackson Arnold. Maybe it's someone else. Who knows? We also have Wisconsin coming to Alabama in week 3, so they're flipping that home and home schedule.
Okay.
The week 2 schedule, Michigan at Oklahoma.
Michigan at Oklahoma.
Interesting.
I'm starting to play some ball games.
Bryce Underwood, and we don't know who's going to be at quarterback for Oklahoma. Well, actually, it's believed that the quarterback from Washington State, his name has escaped me, is going to transfer to Oklahoma because they hired Washington State's offensive coordinator.
Let the points rain, baby.
Right. That is the pipeline that has been pieced together. It's not confirmed. We don't know, but some other notable matchups. Texas A&M obviously travels to Notre Dame, to play the home. That's in week 3 this year. Notre Dame travels to Arkansas in week 5. Obviously, we don't know what Arkansas is going to look like next year. They've kind of had some guys transferring out, which has not really been a great sign after they decided to keep Sam Pittman.
I'm surprised.
Dude, I'm torn. I'm so torn because part of me is like, I want him to have success, but part of me is like, hey, if he gets fired, he always has a spot in Athens. Just come back whenever you like. We'll take the boss hog and we'll just, come back to Athens, Chief. We love you. So, yeah, I'm kind of torn on that.
That's what sucks about these really good coordinators that go to SEC teams that are like lower level. You can never truly shine. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. And then an interesting matchup, but I don't really know what's going to happen.
Bring it on in there.
Is Washington State travels to Ole Miss in week 7. Thank you, Cam.
Hey, Cam. All right, type shit.
Gotta love it. So that's some notable non-conference games for the 2025 season. Obviously, after the season and once the summer gets through, we'll take a whole deep dive into all of this. But just wanted to preview it a little bit.
I like it. It feels different. It definitely does.
There is one thing I wanted to ask you guys because there have been some talks about this. How do you guys feel about the SEC schedule being revealed this early? Do you feel like they should, like the NFL does the schedule reveal in the summer and they make a big event out of it and they make it a big thing? Should college football follow suit, follow the NFL model, and do like a full schedule reveal? After maybe the spring games, that's when you really find out, like, hey, this is your SEC schedule.
I would have waited until after the college football playoff ended.
Yeah,
you would think to drive a little bit more attention.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just like, oh, this is great, but we got bigger fish to fry right now.
I don't know. This kind of feels like a cool time to drop it because it's like, well, we're not playing any games for a couple of weeks. We don't have a ton to talk about. Let's talk about the schedule now.
Maybe, but that's my part too. Is like,
oddly,
keep it. I guess if you're college football or college sports, you're like, oh, we'll just keep it with college basketball at the time, but you can fill gaps. That's why I wouldn't hate the spring game after that. So you can stay relevant because these next 2 weeks we can still talk about the playoff and all the expectations and hopes and whatnot.
And you have this gap where you have spring ball and then you have the spring games and then you have this gap before fall camp where it's like you could just insert that right there in that gap and it'd be perfect.
April 8th, 9th, whenever the Final Four and National Championships over. Perfect week for all that.
Yeah, just throw it right in.
Perfect week.
Boom.
Nothing happens.
Why not?
Because NBA ratings are so down
biggest,
that college football would just take over that.
Yeah, week. You've got the NBA and MLBs that aren't back on at that point, right?
Yeah.
That's right after opening day. But those first, 10 games in MLB are not the most dire games. So
usually that first weekend, you just you cover the Masters, you cover the Final Four, and you cover opening day.
SEC
Feel that
football
next
schedule
week,
release.
And then you take over the next 2 weeks.
And you just dominate in the offseason.
Dominate, because that's what you do. Yep. That's what the NFL's done.
Yep. And speaking of dominating in the NFL, a certain head coach from the NFL has been hired as the head coach of the UNC Tar Heels. He has been coined Chapel Bill.
That's right, baby.
Bill Belichick has been hired by North Carolina. Chase,
Interesting.
I want to know your thoughts. I want to know your instant reaction. How you feeling? What do you think? Is this going to work? Are you excited? Are you disappointed? Are you? Oh, he's pulling out. Okay.
He's Lee
So
Corso, I guess.
I think he's a little bit excited because as he's actively putting on a jersey, the boy looks like his
Is that a
North
Michael
Carolina
Jordan?
fandom has been revitalized.
Is that a Michael Jordan jersey? MJ?
Welcome to recruiting, boys.
Yep.
The excitement is real. This feels very strange because I didn't think something like this would happen this early, and I didn't think it would be Bill Belichick.
I'll be honest. When his name got floated out there, I thought, okay, this is just a tactic that the university's using.
Oh, I'm sorry. I fell asleep. Man. I didn't understand. Sorry, my bad. I just fell asleep. We were talking about a 78-year-old head coach
72.
in 2024.
Excuse you.
This man knows how to connect to the youth.
I
Clearly.
can tell.
Yes, he has a very
Chase, I want you to be Bill Belichick right now, trying to recruit me as a 5-star defensive tackle out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and seen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Tom Brady ain't walking through that door, coach.
Here's my 24-year-old
You know-
girlfriend.
yes.
You know, Malcolm, you could be the next Tom Brady. I'm going to create a very steady program. I'm going to get you to the NFL. I probably have more connections than anybody. I think we're going to build something great here. I think you can be a part of it. My girlfriend's 26. You're going to make a lot of money, and Jordan reps you and everything. So,
I want $1.5 million right now, coach.
well, let's work on your numbers here, son. I see that you have gathered this much information. There's going to be so many guys that he's going to get because you know what he's also going to do?
What's up?
If you're a big-time quarterback,
What's up?
he's going to be like, hey, Tom, you want to go to Greensboro to pick up this kid? You want to go to Marietta, Georgia with me to pick up this kid? Tom's going to be like, sure. I can't talk about anything on the field because I'm a part owner of an organization while I'm an NFL announcer. So he's created a staff that's going to be incredible. Mike Lombardi is now his GM,
Yeah.
Crazy work.
I mean,
right?
he's turning
Crazy
this
work.
into an NFL, like
So
an NFL junior,
that's going
right?
to be his sell, is the fact that he's going to have pro-level scouting. He's going to have pro-level evaluators that already have unbelievable connections. Lombardi has been a GM for him, and they get to work together again. All the notoriety. Like now, I wouldn't be surprised if game day winds up there just because like they beat UCF and they beat Scott Frost, in the mid whatever that is, like mid-September, and they're 3-0 or 4-0. They'll just bring game day, whoever it is, Wake Forest, whatnot. This makes college football so interesting because Saban's gone, the Gus Bus is gone, big time, recruiters. So now you have these characters that need to be filled, and now you have Bill Belichick. Bill bringing this level of professionalism to college sports has only solidified it more. Like I saw it with Andrew Luck. I was like, when Luck got signed to Stanford, I was like, now it's becoming more of a business than it ever has before. It is more than minor leagues, in my opinion. It is going to be a farm program for teams. I think Pat asked Lombardi about it today. He was like, so is New England going to become, the farm program with UNC, or is that? He asked Tomlin the same thing. He's like, what do you think about Bill going? He's like, man, it's going to be so interesting to watch because Bill's going to have these guys put in their proper position. And Bill talked about it too on the show. He was like, hey, now I'm going to show you where you need to go. I'm going to show you how to run this offense correctly, but you're going to be in a pro-style offense. You're going to be in a pro-style defense. You're going to be able to get the best training possible. He's going to bring real general managers. Like now, this collective, you are in a school that has unbelievable resources. Unbelievable resources. Like now you have a program it's similar-ish in my mind to what Nate Oates has done, but the opposite at Alabama. Like
Right.
Nate Oates has a better program than their football team right now. Right now it's close. I'd say it's very close to what, like, success-wise, Alabama's doing in the last year or two. Like you're like, oh wow, this is a Final Four basketball team at a football school. Belichick has that potential with Carolina at a basketball school, and I'm telling you, like, football is big, obviously, but it ain't even close, boys. And you guys can see it from outside perspective, but when you're there, basketball runs the ship, and it's just unimaginable, like how much they love basketball. But this brings a level of football where I was thinking about today. They were talking about the stadium, and to me, it's very small because we have SEC comparisons, right? It's small, it's in the valley, and you're like, it doesn't look that great. But then Belichick and Lombardi are going to spin it like, look at this. You're in the trees, you're at this beautiful stadium. When game day comes here, it's going to look like you're in the forest in this immaculate place. It's all about how you sell it.
He's spinning.
And they're going to do it.
Cooking,
boys.
Yeah.
So now you're going to get a transfer portal, and I think he actually has to hit early. And they're going to bring it. They're going to bring money. They're going to bring star power. I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Brady has an opportunity. Lombardi was talking about today. He's like, we could be quarterback U.
I think Tom's got some eligibility left.
He's got some eligibility left.
He's got 1 year left.
He'll find a way.
Michigan transfer, Tom Brady.
So if you're Bryce Underwood, right, Tennessee commit 2026 #1 quarterback overall out of the state of North Carolina, you picking up the phone for Bill Belichick, or you reaffirming your commitment to Tennessee?
Man, that's a close one. To be honest, Carolina's going to call you. That's going to be really hard to turn down as Mike Lombardi.
Tennessee's a much better football school right now than
Doesn't
UNC.
matter.
Right now.
Doesn't matter. It does. That's what's crazy is, like, they're going to tap into this generation better than pretty much anybody. They can sell you on the Jordan brand. I hope you like orange, Bryce, because if not, baby blue, the Argyle, it looks better. You're going to get a lot more popularity with Bill being there because it's going to be on every show next year. The popularity is going to be so high. If they don't hit early, Bill has a smaller window. That's what I'm worried about. Is like, if you don't hit early in Bill, which I think there's going to be some hiccups. Year one's going to look very interesting. I think year one for Bill looks like year one for Dion. And it's going to be up and down. I think Bill beats somebody he's not supposed to. Like, he's going to outcoach somebody, but they're not very talented. Amarian Hampton's going to the NFL. Like, your best player by far, not even close, is going to the NFL. There's no Drake May. There's not even a Mitch Trubisky in that room. I just don't know how you get it done year one, but you better make it look good year one. You need to look like, like how we talked about with Hypo. It needs to be fun year one.
Yeah, fun year one.
Fun year one. I don't know what his staff looks like, but I know it's going to be pro style. I know it's going to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust sometimes. That's Bill Belichick style, brother.
I was going to say, like, that's like a Bill Belichick-led team, though. Like, they're not fun. They're fundamental.
They're fundamental.
Yeah. So, like, that's not fun. Like, I want Hypo throwing the football over the yard. I want Shedeur Sanders and Shiloh and Travis Hunter out there balling. Everybody else kind of sucks. They're very sus. Like, that can be fun. Like, the defense not great. And they build it up. So, I'm a little skeptical.
I am too. Like, I'm pretty skeptical on the fact that if he was 65 instead of whatever, 75, 72, I think
he's 72. Yeah,
72.
His girlfriend is 24.
That's right.
His son is 37. This is all weird.
So I'm going to be so interested to see how he fills out the staff because Tommy Reese was actually supposed to be their second pick. So if you were to get like a coordinator, like a big time coordinator guy, because you're going to be able to recruit, like they're going to bring in a staff that's going to be able to recruit anybody. The fund is going to be unbelievable. Jordan's going to be more involved with football than he ever thought possible. All these guys are going to be around. the recruiting part of it, who they have to bring in. Like, I've been lucky enough to like meet some of their staff. They're going to have no problem selling, maybe. They're going to have no problem selling football when they finally do it. The money is ridiculous. It's just going to transfer. You're just basically going to double up what you have in basketball. They can get anybody in basketball. I've been able to talk to like their donors and like stuff like that. It is going to be wild to watch their advertising grow. And now that you have Bill, it's going to be a story every week. Kids like popularity, kids like TV, kids like TikTok, kids like Instagram. You're going to see Carolina in every facet possible. So Billy's going to have a year. But what worries me now is college sports ain't college sports anymore. It's just minor leagues with pageantry and more money.
Pretty much.
Couldn't agree more.
Do you think Steve Belichick's going to come with him? He is the defensive coordinator at Washington right now.
Yeah, eventually.
He's coaching waiting.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you could have a Belichick-like legacy here at UNC.
That'd feel weird. That'd feel weird.
You know, his dad actually coached at UNC?
Yeah. I saw the little
Like
picture.
3 years.
Yeah.
53 to 55. He was a defensive coordinator, I believe it was, at UNC.
One thing I heard today was, do you think, because it kind of lasted a couple days, do you think Bill made this more public, hoping an NFL team would be like, whoa, call me now?
I don't think so.
You think he wanted college?
I think he did. I mean, look, with what he talked about, I can only go off of what he talked about, but I do believe that, hey, look, he grew up on college football, as a lot of people did who like football, unless you grew up in the Northeast. But grew up in college football. His dad was heavy into college football, obviously worked there for a couple years at UNC. So, you know what I'm more curious about is he talked about today at his press conference. It was today. His press conference was today, right? And he talked about, it's been a day, I'm sorry. And he talked about how it just like never really felt like the right time for him, an opportunity for him to go and coach college. I wonder if he didn't have so much success with the Patriots, if he would have left and went maybe earlier. You know, like I don't know. That was something that just kind of crossed my mind as I was kind of thinking about Bill Belichick and his path to UNC and what he talked about today during his press conference. Man,
I respect it.
Something that's interesting. Something that's interesting about him taking this job, and actually specifically with his buyout. So after June 1st, his buyout drops to $1 million.
Yeah.
So if, he took this with the hopes to generate some NFL talent or to NFL, I guess, interest, the buyout is more than enough for an NFL franchise to cover. If they decided like, hey, Bill took this college job, let's go get him.
Yeah. And I also think for him too, I think Bill's pretty self-aware. He's like, maybe I'll suck at this. I think he's kind of at that old man age of like, maybe I'll suck at this. Maybe I won't like it, but I can try it. And you're at an unbelievable place to try it, because Lombardi talked about it too, of why in the world can't this place recruit? They came out there for some like whatever pro day or whatever. He's like, why in the world can Carolina not? When you go to Carolina, when you're walking down Franklin, when you're doing all this stuff, it's beautiful there. It's beautiful. There's so much cash lying around in that place, and like all kinds of great alumni. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
It makes no sense why it hasn't been better. Larry Fedora, appreciate you, bro. Good fun times, like those kind of things. But Mac was Mac. Appreciate the good times, but man, what a fall off this year. Like no defense. This is going to be a fun one. This is going to be a fun experiment. And if you're a college football purist, I'm sorry. This has made it more of a business than we ever thought possible. And good luck. Good luck enjoying college football, because it's basically the pros.
Yeah.
And you got general managers, you got NIL fund leaders, you have salary caps. Like, that's one thing he's mentioned. He's like, Bill's going to be like, I have salary caps, I have programs in place, I have situational awareness. I don't know how you're going to enjoy it if you are a college football purist, but go Heels.
It's kind of like what you talked about earlier, Chase, is like with all the people that are surrounding him and he's surrounding himself with. When I thought about Bill Belichick getting an opportunity to coach college football, it was, okay, yeah, I understand. All jokes aside, yeah, he's got a 24-year-old girlfriend. He can, relate, whatever. She's with him for the money and all of that good stuff. But how is he truly going to relate to a younger generation? And I heard Tom Brady and Julian Edelman and Gronkowski kind of joking on Belichick on how he's going to go out on recruiting pitches and things like that. Seems very dry, the whole thing. My first thought was, okay, if he's going to take this job, he better surround himself with good people who can go out there and can recruit, who have more personality than Bill Belichick has. I know he's shown it a little bit now with being on with Pat and things like that. Like, he's shown it, but yeah, it's he better surround himself with good people, which it seems like he has.
That he has. Be very interesting. It'll be a fun time in Carolina. I'm not gonna lie to you, boys.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be something to follow, something to watch, and if we needed more storylines. But a couple other things that I wanted to just throw out there before we have to wrap up. West Virginia bringing back Rich Rodriguez, and then
sometimes you got to go backwards to go forward.
Sometimes you just got to revisit something.
Spin the block.
Why not, right?
There's got to be a
give it a shot.
Pat White, Steve Slayton Jr. out there.
Yeah, I mean,
surely there
sure.
Got him.
I don't know if you'll ever get another take on Austin, but good try.
Bro, that was hilarious.
And then Dan Mullen hired at UNLV.
I'm not moved, man.
Damn.
I honestly expected Dan was waiting on a higher profile job.
Yeah.
Like, I thought the UNC job would have been something that Dan would have been interested in.
Got beat out by Bill Belichick.
He got beat out by Bill Belichick. But you know what? Good for Dan. Congratulations, Dan. You get to take over what has been a pretty decent UNLV program left by Barry Odom, who's now at Purdue.
Yeah.
We'll see what he can do, man.
I thought that Florida State job was going to be Dan Mullins, man.
Little
vengeance.
Not yet, but who knows? The future could be there. We'll see.
Biletnikoff winner Travis Hunter officially.
Oh,
Officially.
He won the best defensive player and
The best receiver.
DB and receiver.
Yeah.
Bad man.
We've never seen anything like this, folks.
Wow.
Heisman winner.
Am I gonna be that guy?
Yeah, good.
What he's doing is great. What Travis is doing is great. He was not the best receiver in college football.
Who was?
Ted McMillan was better than him.
You know?
Now, what that being said, should Travis win the Heisman? I totally have no disagreement if he does. I have no disagreement to take nothing away from Trav because the Heisman is an award that's supposed to be given to the best overall player. But if we're talking about receiver specific, the best receiver in the nation, Travis was great. But was he the best receiver in the nation?
He looked good on that last game, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. He looks awesome.
I mean, I love Jalen Hyatt to death. Jalen Hyatt was not better than Marvin Harrison Jr., bro, on any level.
He just had
He had a
he
better
had better
season.
stat. He
As
had
a
better-
Biletnikoff,
he had a better.
What are you talking about? You can't catch open passes?
Listen, man. I hear you. I hear you.
Go Vols.
You. Go Vols,
Vols.
man, and go Buffs.
We got 1% left.
Okay.
All right, boys. Well, guys, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us, revisiting some of our horrible picks, some of our great picks, and taking a brief look at the 2025 season. Obviously, with this week being Army-Navy week, we wanted to kind of take a break before we preview the college football playoff games. We will definitely get into those next week. I am unbelievably excited to get into this first round of games, guys. So we appreciate you hanging out. Obviously, follow us everywhere that you can find any podcast, any socials, Chat It Up Sports across the board. I'm Joseph Guthrie. That's Greg Larnard. That's Miggy Malcolm Harris. Our boy Chase Green on the ones and twos tonight.
Don't forget about Mike's. Don't forget about Mike's.
Oh,
Thank you, Mike's.
and thank you again
Shout
to
out.
Mike's, the best presenting sponsor in the world. Mike's, we love you. Thank you guys for hosting us. Thank you for having us. And we will see you on Chat It Up Sports next time.
Cheers.